Chapter 1 of Madame GUYON, Union with God. Your way to God begins on the day of your conversion. For conversion marks your soul's initial return to God. From that moment, you begin to live and have your being by the means of His grace. After your conversion, your own spirit, the human spirit which is deep within your inmost being, is touched by God and is made alive and functioning. Your spirit, in turn, invites your soul to compose itself and to turn within, there to find the God who has newly come to reside at the center of your being. Your spirit instructs your soul that, since God is more present deep within you, He cannot be found anywhere else. Henceforth, He must be sought within, and He must be enjoyed there alone. Therefore, from the very beginning, you find great joy in knowing that your Lord is within you, and that you can find Him and enjoy Him in your inmost being. From the very beginning of your conversion, it is possible for you to know from the very outset of your life in Christ that what you are to pursue is that inward life. From Isaiah 31, verse 6, from that turn unto Him whom the children of Israel have so deeply revolted. What is conversion? It is nothing more than turning from your created nature and returning to God, who now resides at the center of your being. Your conversion is not just a matter of turning from sin. Turning from sin to grace is certainly essential in salvation, but is not all that salvation involves. For it to be complete, conversion is not only a turning from outward things, but a turning to the inmost portions of your being, to that place where the Lord has come to reside. When you are thusly turned towards God, you find it easy to return there again and again. The longer you continue to turn inward to God, the nearer you are to draw to Him, and the more firmly you adhere to Him. Consequently, you are further removed from your more outward and natural man, which is so often contrary to God. By moving into that inmost sanctuary again and again, you will finally become so established in your conversion that it becomes natural, even habitual, to live in the presence of God. And where is God's presence? God's presence is where He lodges, deep in your spirit. Now, do not suppose that such a state is reached by exertion or by effort on your part. The only thing which you yourself are capable of doing is this: to withdraw from external objects. In other words, the most you can do is turn inward. Yes, you are capable of that much. You are capable of cooperating with divine grace to that extent. Therefore, you should attempt to do so. Beyond that, nothing. You have only to continue to be firm in adhering to the God who is within you. Your Lord has a virtue of magnetic attraction. He draws you more and more powerfully to himself. As he attracts you inwardly, he purifies you of all the things that are not of himself. But remember, this is his activity, not yours. Just as it is with impure vapor, so it is with you. Vapor is drawn up by the sun, and as it gradually ascends, it is rarefied and made pure. The vapor's only contribution to this process is to remain passive and rise. In our experience, there is a slight difference from that of the vapor. You and I have the privilege of cooperating voluntarily with the Lord's drawing of us toward him. This inward turning to him is very easy, natural, and effortless because he is at your center. Your turning is because he is drawing you. There is a principle in nature. The center of anything exerts a powerful drawing force. This principle is just as true in the spiritual realm as it is in the nature. Even more so, for it is a more exalted realm of existence. The drawing of the force that is within your center is even more irresistible than that which is found in nature. In the natural realm, there is the magnetic attraction toward the center. In every creature, there is a strong tendency to be reunited with its center. But in the spiritual realm, this tendency is vigorous and active in proportion to the spiritual level of the person involved. As soon as anything turns inward towards the center, then that thing begins picking up extensive momentum and will progress towards its center very rapidly. The only real exception to this occurs if it so happens that an obstacle is in the way. If you hold a stone in your hand, it is no sooner let go than it begins to fall by its own weight, back to its true center of the earth. The same is true also with water. Water will flow without hesitation towards its center. Such a thing is always true unless there is a barrier or obstruction in the way. The same is true of your soul. When your soul has been converted, it attempts to turn back to its God. When your soul turns within to reunite with the Lord who is within, your soul is under the influence of this same law of central tendencies. The soul falls gradually to its proper center without any other force than the precious weight of love. The more tranquil the soul remains, the more it is freed from an effort to propel its own self. The tranquil soul does not try to get to the center by its efforts. The more rapidly and unobstructed the soul advances towards the center, the more the center has full freedom to draw the soul. It is obvious then that you should give all your attention toward turning inward to the place of your Lord's residence. Do not be discouraged by the fact that you might find this a difficult exercise in the beginning. Before very long, an abundant grace will come to you, and this matter will become easy. That is true if you are faithful in meekly withdrawing your heart from outward distractions and occupations, and then returning to your center with affections full of tenderness and serenity. Now, when your emotions and feelings are turbulent with anxiety and anger, then be assured that the general retreat inward to the presence of God deadens these turbulent emotions. If you try any other way of opposing these emotions and feelings, you will succeed only irritating them and not stilling them. Knowing that your purpose is to pursue the inward life, this is the spring of all the joy of the soul. This is the solid foundation of all spiritual progress. Your purpose is to pursue that life which dwells deep within your inmost center.